Hi everyone, welcome back to EQ Markets Global YouTube channel. My name is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Head Market Analyst and Head of Education for EQ Markets Global. I'm super delighted to have you one more time on this new YouTube channel. Please, if you're new to this YouTube channel, please kindly subscribe and also turn on the notification bell so that you get notified every single time we put up our educative and informative content to help you upskill your trading prowess. All right, thank you so much and welcome back. So let's quickly go over back to the weekly market outlook and what we perhaps will be expecting in the market for this week. 27th February to 3rd of March. That's for the trading week for this week. All right, so let's quickly go over and see. We're starting with the fundamentals, and for the fundamentals, we are having just a few high impact expected news for this week. Okay, if you look at it, just a few. There is none actually on Monday. So Monday is free from every high impact expected fundamental news, right? But on Tuesday, of course, we're expecting the GDP for the Canadian dollar. Okay, we're expecting the GDP for the Canadian dollar, and then of course we are also expecting the consumer confidence rate for the United States dollar, all in that's going to be happening 4 p.m. Nigerian time. All right, then on Wednesday, of course, we'll be having the CPI year on year for the Aussie. All right, and that's going to be happening by 1:30 a.m. Perhaps before many of us would wake up from bed, that would have happened. And then, of course, we're having the manufacturing PMI, okay, for the USD as well, 4 p.m. So on Tuesday and on Wednesday, for the USD, 4 p.m. is going to be some good data that we'll be expecting. So we keep that in mind, okay? It's going to cause some level of volatility. All right, Thursday, we're just expecting the governor of the Reserve Bank of New Zealand give a speech by okay, it's tentative. It's going to happen on Thursday, but that's tentative, right? So we don't really know when it's going to happen yet on Thursday. And then 4 p.m. still on Friday, we're expecting the ISM services PMI. All right, so we do well to look at all of these news, okay? So 4 p.m. on Tuesday, 4 p.m. on Wednesday, and 4 p.m. on Friday, we're expecting some high volatile news that is going to affect USD. All right, so that being said, I want us to keep those in mind, okay? You perhaps may want to read a little more about the CB consumer confidence or even the ISM manufacturing PMI or even the ISM services PMI. You may want to read up what they mean and how they possibly could affect the market, all right? So let's quickly look at the dollar index. For the dollar index, okay, if you've been following our weekly market analysis, you would notice that 90% of our analysis had been very right with the dollar index and also with the pairs that we analyze, okay? So let's go over for this week. So dollar index was strengthened a bit in the last 2 weeks, okay, regaining a little momentum in the last 2 weeks, all right? And we already said that we talked about the dollar falling into this zone, okay, this zone acting as a support zone. And from this zone, we see it rally back up into this zone around 106 to 104, 104 to 106. And of course, that's what it has obviously done, all right? So what we'll be expecting this week is continuous strengthening of the United States dollar, okay? And we're expecting it to, first of all, come into this level, which is 106.014, right? So this week, perhaps, with all the CB consumer confidence or ISM manufacturing PMI, ISM services PMI, we expect positive feedback. We expect positive data to drive the dollar index above 105.260, where it closed on Friday last week. Right, we're expecting it to push up back to 106.014. And of course, that's looking like a little weak resistance. Well above that level, we might most likely see the dollar come into 107.734. But whichever is the case, this week we're expecting a more stronger dollar to occur or to play out, right? So either come to 106.014 or 107.734, right? I would stick my the strong support, strong resistance level to be somewhat around 107.734, right? That's because that same level, the dollar has tested it once here, it has tested twice, all as support, And then, of course, we had the break, and here we had the retest. So most likely, we're going to have prices come back into this zone before perhaps falling back below into this level here. All right. So in either case, we're expecting a stronger dollar, just like I said earlier, this week. So if we're expecting a stronger dollar this week, then what is most likely going to happen to Euro USD or USD JPY or even gold, right? Or USD CAD, all right? The base and code currency, base and code places where USD may occur. What is most likely going to happen? If you want to know, I will show you what is most likely going to happen. But do this, right? So you can follow us and stay up to date with every information that we give out. Okay, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. We are also on TikTok, right? So do well to find us. We're EQ Markets Global, and do well to subscribe, like, share, comment, interact with the post, right? So that I would be able to show you more things, more secrets, more strategies, risk management, weekly market analysis, daily market analysis, and even more. But first, before we go over to look at what's going to happen on Euro USD, AUD USD, and gold and the rest of them, I need you to just do me one favor before we continue. All right. I need you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, okay? So I'll give you on the count of 5. I know you're already doing that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. I hope you did that, and turn on the notification bell. Put it at all so you get notified when we drop valuable contents just like this one. All right. So let's quickly go over and look at what we're expecting to happen on Euro USD. Okay. So yes. This is my Euro USD chart, and I would like you to pay a little more attention here, because this is where we're going to see the whole of the analysis done, both the high impact expected news and the dollar index. This way it plays out. All right. So if we're expecting a stronger dollar, all right, it's obvious in Euro USD, where dollar is more like the code currency. Okay, we'll be expecting a more bearish movement. It's just as simple as that, right? We'll be expecting a bearish movement. And of course, if we look at our CCI on the daily time frame, of course, we see a bearish momentum that is in play. All right. So these are the key levels that personally I would be looking out. All right. First, I'll be looking at this level here. All right. I'll be looking at this level here, which is somewhat around 1.04849. Okay. I'll be looking at the dollar falling to that level. From where the current market price is to the level I'm talking about is about 61 pips. All right. So for short-term traders, you would also most likely want to take advantage of 61 pips by the time the market opens. Okay. And from that level where I will be expecting a bullish movement. Okay. For me, I'll be expecting a bullish movement. So I basically would be looking for this to happen. So let me scale down to the lower time frame. So I'll show you what I will be expecting to happen. So for me, I'll be expecting prices to come well into this zone and well above that zone. I'll be buy biased, okay? Prices going to this level, right? And even well above that level. That's what I'll be expecting prices to do. But for now, we're expecting still more like 61 pip movement before the big bullish movement we're expecting will be coming into play. All right. But then on the long run, Euro USD is going to be buy biased. All right, it's going to be buy biased because, of course, don't forget, when we see the dollar index, right? After this bullish movement, okay, most likely we're going to see it slump again. So of course, if we're going to see it slump, then especially when it slumps, we're going to see a bullish movement on Euro USD, okay, which is of course the overall sentiment, even if you look at it on the weekly time frame. Okay, there's a break or structure retest, so this could be another good retest zone. And then of course we see a bullish continuation on Euro USD. All right, so that's my bias for Euro USD for this week. For GBP USD already, GBP USD is trading on a very significant support and resistance zone, on a monthly support zone. All right, on a monthly support zone. Let me just quickly show you that zone on the monthly time frame. If you watch it carefully, all right, this is caused by volatility. This is caused by volatility. All right, but then here was a support tested 3 times. right? Here was a support. That same zone was a support. It was a support again. Most likely, let me be telling you the dates. Okay, this is sometime in 2017. First, before 2017, it has tested that zone 216, 217, and then as well the same 217 twice. And then, of course, in the year 2019, it tested that same zone twice. And fast forward to 2020, it tested the zone once, all right, twice as well before the break of structure. All right, so price is rallying back to this zone. It's obvious that we will perhaps be expecting a bullish movement on GBP USD. And don't forget, if another way to look at this is if this is the weekly trend line, okay, of GBP USD, most likely price is breaking this monthly support zone, all right, and having a retest on that zone will most likely tell us that prices is wishing or is struggling rather to drive into the weekly trend line, okay, before we would be able to know what next we'll be expecting on that market, right? But for now, I'm also um buy biased on GBP USD, right? Buy biased on GBP USD, but there's going to be some form of consolidation at that level, right? Because even if dollar is going to go bullish, all right, the best that could happen is it falling back into this zone, right? It falling GBP USD falling at worst into 1.18478. So there will be some level of consolidation from the look of things. All right, there'll be some level of consolidation from the look of things between 1.1847 to 1.21305. Right, there'll be some form of consolidation, and of course, after the consolidation, there would be a breakout, and prices will come into the same zone that we're looking at. Right, so that's my bias and that's my take on GBP USD. Let's quickly go over back to gold. Gold is very technical. I had to sit down closely and look at gold from every possible angle. Okay. So first we have the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we have the daily trend line, which also applies to the weekly trend line if you watch it closely. All right, so let's assume this is first touch and this is the second touch. All right, guys. So gold is going down actually, no doubt. But of course, we will be this long bullish movement. I think the rain is over. Okay, the rain of that bullish run is over. So we'll be looking out for sell opportunities, even on, if you notice carefully, right, it broke this counter trend line first, and then after breaking that counter trend line, it came to test the key level. Okay, so gold gold sometimes could be quite funny. Okay, so this is a key level, although it didn't come specifically to test that key level, but it came really close and then began to sell off again. Okay, so this is where, in my opinion, gold is going. Okay, gold is going to retest around 1786.45, right? So gold is going to test around that 1786.45, and well above that level we can see a little push back up, and of course there might be some form of resistance around this level, which is 1863.72. And then if it breaks out from this counter trend line, this second counter trend line drawn here, then we would most likely see gold fall back to around 1683 and well below that level, 1615 or 1619 thereabout, 1616 or 1615 thereabout. Yeah. So this is what is going to happen on the long term, okay, and on the short term. So if you are a short-term trader, all right, for this week, you can still possibly look out for a very short a short on gold and look for around 150 to 200 pip movement to the downside on gold, right? And of course, if it bounces back up from here, because that's a key level, right? That's a good level, okay? That level, let me show you why I chose that level. If you watch carefully, right? If you watch carefully here, around 1781.45, that's a key level because okay, let me show you. Okay. So if you watch carefully, that same level, I'm talking about 1781 or 1780 thereabout. There was a test on that level once, a test twice. There was a test the third time, and then we had this break, and then of course a retest around that level, and then of course you see here as well, it was a retest, and prices broke, became support. All right, so most likely if prices is coming back, it's that same level it's going to find support 1780.42 or 1781, around that level. Okay, so and that's why I chose that level. Okay, so you might most likely be expecting gold to come into 1780, 1781 thereabout. And then, of course, that's the support level, and gold will rebound. Okay, and bound, you can find the nearest other level, 1863 thereabout, then before it goes down. So that's for gold. Let's quickly look out for GBP JPY. For GBP JPY, of course, we see on the weekly time frame that this is a bullish dominated market. And of course, I told you that as well last week, that GBP JPY, my sentiment on it is still buy, and I'm expecting it to come to 164.203. This was our last week price level that we actually looked at, 164.203. And of course, after playing around, of course, we see how nicely this is going to also test that level. From that level, if it breaks above, we can find a retest and continuous bullish movement. But of course, if it respects this zone, then we're expecting a sell-off on this pair. Okay, so it continues to go up, right? So sorry, just excuse me a second. Take this out. So yeah, we're expecting into this zone. If this resistance is respected, we're expecting it to come back to this trend line, all right? Or at least we're expecting it to come back to somewhere around this level, 156, okay? But if this is broken, let's expect a retest and a continuous bullish movement on GBP JPY, right? So I also want to look at USD JPY, because I know a whole lot of persons will be confused. So where is USD JPY going? All right, so last week we had all of the news that came out, all of the data that came out for USD favor the USD, and of course made it stronger. And of course we had this break. All right, so don't forget, I was telling you guys last week about the bullish movement we're expecting on USD JPY. In fact, I did a video talking about some of the data that were to be released last week and how it's going to affect USD JPY. And I told you there's going to be a sell-off. And of course, after that sell-off to a particular zone, we're going to be seeing a bullish movement. You can find that video as a confirmation as to what I'm saying on the YouTube channel, right? So last week I told you that USD JPY on that was going to fall to somewhere around this level, 133.96, or well below that level. It's going to fall around to 133.7, right? Okay, so if it falls down to that point, there will be bearish exhaustion. Okay, the bears will lose their strength, and of course bulls will take over and push prices higher. But I never expected it was going to be this high, right? So these are the key levels to look out for, right, this week. These are the key levels to look out for. I'll be looking out for USD JPY coming into 137.943 or around that zone. Okay, 137.943 and or around that zone. Now, why I'm choosing that zone is because of this. Okay, let me quickly show you on the daily time frame. I'm choosing that zone. I'm choosing that zone because of this level here. All right, and of course this level here. So let me just quickly show you. So here it was a resistance, and then here it broke that resistance and continued to go up, and then it became a support, and then of course it broke that support and retested. So obviously we're expecting prices to come back to find solace at that level, 137.943 or its environs. Okay, so for this week we're expecting stronger dollar. Simply means where dollar is the base currency, we're expecting a bullish movement for the dollar. Okay, let's quickly jump over and talk about the US 30. Right, so last week, remember, we talked about US 30 coming into this zone. You can also watch last week's market outlook to confirm what we're saying, what I'm saying right now. All right, so we said that US 30 would be coming to find solace somewhere around this level as well. Right, you'll be coming to find a support somewhere around here, because this attested one, tested twice. So of course, obviously, we're expecting that it will come back to retest this level. Right, now at this level, there are two likely things that is going to happen. Okay, so let me just show you. At this level, we can expect a rebound and then a break of structure here on this weekly trend line, or we can see prices break through to this level and then come back to the retest this zone and continue to go down. But the most likelihood for me is prices finding a good support at this level and breaking this structure. Okay, I'm saying that because obviously on the Nasdaq 100 that has already played out. So it's more like the Nasdaq 100 is the future for the US 30. Okay, so if you watch the Nasdaq 100 on the daily time frame, it had broken that structure, retested, and then rebounded as well. But if we look at the US 30, it's still trying to respect that same trend line. Okay, it's still trying to respect the daily trend line. So for me, I feel like the Nasdaq 100, it's the future for looking at the Nasdaq 100 and what's happening is more like the future for the US 30. So I'm expecting prices to find solace here, right? Somewhere around this level, if possible, consolidate a while and then break the structure and continue to go bullish. All right. And then for the Nasdaq 100 that had already gone bullish, what we're expecting is it is currently trading on a weekly support, on a daily support rather, right? It's trading on a daily support. You can find support, break of structure, retest, and then all this way retest, and then break of structure again. This is a retest. So this is a good support. But if prices does not respect this support, all right. So two things are most likely to happen, okay? Prices consolidating on this support and continuing to go bullish, or let me show you what I mean. All right, so prices keep consolidating on this support and then go bullish, or prices will break, come to this zone. I think I made a mistake, so let me clean that. All right, so prices will break and come to this zone, which is around 11560. All right, and then come back to retest this level here, perhaps respect it a bit before it breaks and continues to go bullish. All right, so those are the two things that I'm expecting for prices to do. So I can't give you a short-term bias on this. I can only give you a long-term bias on this, that Nasdaq 100 is going bullish. All right, so this brings me to the end of this week's market outlook. All right, so just before I go, I hope you've followed us on every social media handles. Okay, we are EQ Markets Global on every social media platform that you want to find us: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Okay, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. My name is 𝗟𝗜𝗞𝗘 head of market analyst and head of education for EQ Markets Global. See you again next week, Monday, but stay tuned to the channel as more is to come for the week. Thank you.